It was early one brisk morning when Officer Haley Stanton was conducting her routine patrol. The day had barely begun, and she had no idea that in a few hours, her morning would take a turn she could never have predicted. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. As she cruised down the quiet streets, she noticed something peculiar: a lone dog by the side of the road. The animal appeared distressed, growling and barking defensively at anyone who dared come near. Intrigued, Haley slowed her car and, trusting her gut instinct, decided to investigate. She carefully edged closer, her mind racing as she noticed the dog's protective stance over a nondescript bag lying on the ground. With each step she took, the dog's growls became louder, more threatening, but Haley was determined to uncover what had the animal on such high alert. Haley's day had begun like any other. After a restless night, she desperately needed a pick-me-up to shake off her exhaustion. So, when she spotted a convenience store on the corner, she decided to make a quick stop for her much-needed morning coffee. She was accompanied by her fellow officer, Jason Green, who was happy to wait in the car while she ran inside. "Grab me a coffee too, would you?" he requested, not knowing how the morning would unfold. "Sure thing," Haley replied, flashing a tired smile. Inside the store, the familiar chime of the bell greeted her. She was welcomed by Wilson, the store clerk, who had served her countless times before. "You need a strong cup today, huh?" Wilson remarked, noticing her weary expression. Haley chuckled. "You know it," she replied, signaling for 2 cups. As she waited for the coffee to brew, she heard a faint, distant sound of howling, almost as if an animal was in distress. She turned to Wilson, but he seemed indifferent, dismissing her concern as he handed over the cups. "It's probably just a stray hanging out back," he said nonchalantly. "One of my colleagues might fed it, and now it keeps coming around." Haley accepted the explanation at face value, but couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling. Something wasn't right, and she felt compelled to find out more. Returning to the car, Haley handed Jason his coffee and prepared to leave, but the nagging feeling persisted. She could still hear the faint barking, and the thought of an animal in distress tugged at her conscience. "Give me a minute," she said, handing Jason the sandwich she had bought. "I need to check something out." With a sense of urgency, Haley approached the alley behind the store. The dog was still there, standing guard over the mysterious bag. The animal's growls intensified as she moved closer, making it clear that it would not let anyone near. Haley carefully crouched down, speaking softly to the dog in a calming tone. "Easy there, buddy," she whispered. "I just want to see what's inside." The dog's growls became a low, constant rumble, its eyes never leaving the bag. Haley knew she had to act carefully. The dog's protectiveness suggested there was more to this than met the eye. She decided to call for backup, hoping Jason could help defuse the situation. When Jason arrived, he quickly understood the gravity of the situation. The dog's behavior was highly unusual, and he knew they needed to see what was inside the bag. Together, they devised a plan. Jason would distract the dog while Haley cautiously approached the bag. As Jason coaxed the dog away with a sandwich, Haley slowly unzipped the bag. Inside, she found a tiny, frail kitten barely clinging to life. The sight broke her heart. The little creature was weak, its fur matted, and it let out a faint, pitiful mew. Haley's eyes welled with tears, and she gently scooped the kitten into her arms. She felt a surge of determination. This kitten needed immediate care, and she would do whatever it took to help. Jason's expression softened as he saw the kitten, but his face quickly turned serious. "We need to act fast," he said. "I'll keep the dog occupied. You get the kitten somewhere safe." Haley nodded, but the situation was more complex than they had initially thought. The dog's barking grew louder, more frantic, as if it knew the kitten was in danger. The urgency of the situation became clear. Something was terribly wrong, and they couldn't handle it alone. Haley called animal control, explaining the circumstances and requesting immediate assistance for both the dog and the kitten. While waiting for help to arrive, Haley examined the kitten more closely and noticed a small collar around its neck. To her surprise, there was an address etched on the tag. She showed it to Jason, who agreed that they needed to investigate further. "We'll head there as soon as we make sure these animals are safe," Jason said. "There has to be more to this." After ensuring that the dog and kitten were in safe hands with animal control, Haley and Jason set out to the address on the kitten's collar. It led them to a dilapidated house on the outskirts of town. The paint was peeling, the windows were grimy, and the front porch sagged under the weight of neglect. As they approached, Haley felt a chill run down her spine. What awaited them inside? She knocked on the door, her heart pounding in anticipation. After a moment, a gruff, suspicious-looking man answered. "What do you want?" he asked, his tone guarded. "We're here about a kitten," Haley said, holding up the collar. This address was on its tag. "Do you know anything about it?" The man's eyes darted nervously, and he hesitated before replying. "I don't know anything about a kitten," he muttered, but his body language suggested otherwise. Haley and Jason weren't convinced. They pressed him for information, pointing out that the kitten was found in a dangerous situation, and they just wanted to ensure its safety. After some more probing, the man reluctantly admitted that his niece Madeline might know something about the kitten. He led them inside, where they met a nervous-looking girl, her eyes wide with fear. "It's okay," Haley said gently. "We're just trying to understand what happened." Madeline hesitated, but eventually admitted that she had found the kitten and wanted to keep it safe. However, she also revealed something unexpected. There had been a bag of contraband items along with the kitten, which her uncle had instructed her to dispose of. The uncle, now visibly uncomfortable, admitted that he had been paid by a local gang to hold on to the contraband, but had panicked and tried to get rid of it. The revelation hit Haley and Jason hard. The gang the uncle mentioned was the very same one they had been investigating for months. They had struggled to gather evidence, but now they had a lead that could potentially blow the case wide open. "We can protect you," Jason assured the uncle, "but we need you to cooperate and tell us everything you know." Reluctantly, the man agreed, divulging information that tied the contraband directly to the gang's illegal operations. With this new intel, Haley and Jason knew they had to act fast. They contacted their precinct and relayed everything they had learned, setting in motion plans for a raid. With the information from Madeline's uncle, the police now had enough to take decisive action. Haley and Jason were at the forefront of the operation, leading a team of officers as they prepared to raid the gang's hideout. The tension was palpable as they approached the location, knowing this could be the breakthrough they had been waiting for. "Police, get down!" Haley shouted as they stormed the building, catching the gang members off guard. Chaos ensued as suspects tried to flee, but the officers were swift and efficient, apprehending everyone inside. As they searched the premises, they uncovered a treasure trove of illegal goods evidence that would be vital in dismantling the gang's network. The successful raid marked the culmination of months of hard work, and Haley and Jason couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and relief. "We did it," Haley said, her voice filled with emotion. "Yeah, we did," Jason replied with a grin. The precinct was buzzing with excitement as the news spread. They had not only disrupted a dangerous operation, but had also ensured the safety of two innocent animals that had unwittingly been caught in the middle of it all. Back at the precinct, Haley and Jason received well-deserved praise for their perseverance and dedication. But for Haley, the real reward was seeing the rescued kitten, now recovering well and being taken care of. Madeline, who had been overwhelmed by the entire ordeal, was deeply grateful to Haley and Jason for helping reunite her with the kitten. "Thank you so much," she said, her voice choked with emotion. She cradled the kitten, now healthy and full of life, in her arms. "I'm just glad we could help," Haley said with a smile. Watching the kitten purr contentedly, she felt a sense of fulfillment that no award or recognition could match. The day had started with a simple need for coffee, but had turned into a life-changing event. What began as a routine patrol evolved into a heartwarming tale of compassion, justice, and bravery. Haley had trusted her instincts, and it had led her down a path that not only saved innocent lives but also struck a significant blow against crime in her community. As she looked out at the horizon, the morning sun casting a warm glow over the precinct, Haley couldn't help but reflect on the events of the past few hours. She realized that sometimes it's the small things, the stray bark of a dog, the faint meow of a kitten, that can lead to the biggest breakthroughs. And that's what made her job worth it.